Hey guys, GoMan936 here, and welcome to my top 10 Transformers presentation. This is based on my opinion, so don't judge me, okay? If your favorite didn't show up here, don't judge me. This is my favorite. Alright, so for number 10, we have Autobot Jazz. Jazz always appealed to me from his tone of speaking, mainly the G1 version. Power of the Primes just recently got released. I really hope he's going to be in that cartoon. The first movie, Jazz, only appeared about 3 times until Megatron ripped him in half. Rest in peace, Jazz. But yeah, this is my Autobot list. There will be a Decepticon list. So yeah, he pretty much had a magnetizer arm. And yeah, he was sort of like an acrobat in the first movie. Alright, at number 9, we have Autobot Ratchet. Ratchet has, been, I don't know, he wasn't really one of my favorites. I put him on here because, well, he was funny. In the first movie, the only reason why I put first movie Ratchet in here, because he was like a combat medic. He could pull 3 times his own weight. G1 Ratchet I put in here because, well, he's also like a combat medic. Mainly a medic, he knows a few combat moves. RID Ratchet was complete combat medic. He knows a lot of fighting moves, and he's a medic. Well, he kind of took on the role of Wheeljack being the scientist. So, yeah. He's pretty much the scientist now in RID. Next up, at number 8, we have Autobot RC. In the G1, she was first introduced in the Transformers the Movie 30th Anniversary. She had a pink and white color scheme, sort of like the Revenge of the Fallen version, except she had white instead of gray. So she was sort of like a mother to Daniel, because Daniel really didn't have his mother in the Transformers the movie. So RC was sort of that fill-in for Daniel's mom. Okay. Then there was the Transformers Prime RC. She was more of like a rush-in battle person. She had a blue and silver color scheme with hints of pink. She transformed into a motorcycle instead of a car. She had these side blades like Dino from Dark of the Moon. She had a really close relationship with Cliffjumper. So anytime someone would mention Cliffjumper's death, she would be in like a rage mode. Then there was the Revenge of the Fallen version of RC, which took concept from the Transformers Prime RC in the motorcycle look, except she had pink, gray, yellow, and blue. Random colors. She had one wheel for a foot. This one is different because this was the original concept. But the Revenge of the Fallen version was very weird because she had sisters that were all the same design but different colors, Chromia and Alita 1. So yeah. Number 7, we have Autobot Springer. Springer was also first introduced in the Transformers the movie. He was sort of like a father to Daniel while Spike was captured by Unicron. So he pretty much was the first Autobot triple changer. He could turn into a helicopter and a car. His weapons were a saber and some sort of cannon thing. But yeah, his personality was like a brave Autobot, like a hero warrior thing. So yeah, that's it for Springer. For number 6, we have Autobot Windblade, the City Speaker. She was first introduced. Actually, she wasn't even in the G1. She was never introduced in the G1 cartoon. She was first introduced in Transformers Generations with this toy in the center. Then she was introduced in RID. She was sort of like a bounty hunter in RID. She wasn't really a city speaker. Her personality was different from Power of the Primes and the Combiner Wars series. She was more like an assassin who would tend to flirt with Sideswipe in RID. Then there is the Titans Return Windblade, which was a Voyager. Deluxe class, which is the deluxe class. The one you see in the corner is the Takara version, the one that came with the Target Master. I think it's the Target Master. I don't know. It transformed into a gun. And number 5, we have Autobot Perceptor, the scientist slash medic. Oh no, wait. Scientists for the Transformers the movie and season 3 on, because Ratchet and Wheeljack both died. I don't know how Wheeljack died. They never showed that, but Perceptor was first introduced in the movie. He would always speak in like long scientific terms, which would sometimes make Ultra Magnus mad because he didn't understand it. So then he had to start talking regular terms. So then his next incarnation was in the Hunt for the Decepticons line, which didn't really look like normal Perceptor. He didn't really transform into a microscope like the cartoon did, but Titans Return nailed it in the microscope mode. Except the head. The head would have been better if it had the Hunt for the Decepticons version. So yeah, for number 4, we have Dino / Mirage. Dino was an Autobot in Dark of the Moon. He had no resemblance to Mirage at all. As you can see, this is Mirage, the second to the most right picture. As you can see, he has no resemblance to Dino. Dino had like a completely different voice. He had no resemblance. Even the color was different. Mirage from the G1 though, he didn't really like fighting, but he was really good at it. He had a special ability where he could turn invisible. I don't know if it was for a short period of time or he could do it for as long as he wanted. All I know is that I'd rather have the G1 Mirage. He's better. At number 3, we have Autobot Blaster. He was shown in the, I forgot what episode it was, but it was when Prime when all of the Autobots hunted down the Stunticons, then they captured them, then the Autobots cloned themselves to look like the Stunticons. He also did make an appearance in the Transformers the movie. His next iteration was in Titans Return. He had a leader class form, and his chest could... Oh yeah, and he had cassettes. He was sort of like the Autobot version of Soundwave. Then his next iteration was in the game Transformers Forged to Fight. So yeah, that's it for Blaster. Oh, and also, he was a boombox, like Soundwave. Like a different style. Next up, at number 2, we have Autobot Ultra Magnus, the commander for the movie for a short period of time until they got blasted and Hot Rod took lead. So his first iteration was in the G1. I forgot what episode. Again, I'm sorry, I haven't watched the episodes in a while. I'm only on season 2. I'm still watching season 2, so don't get mad. But he did appear in Transformers the movie. And then he got blasted to bits by Galvatron and his sweeps. Then he got rebuilt by the Junkions. Then Hot Rod took lead and offered to help him with his leadership skills. Next iteration of him was... I forgot what his next iteration was, but he did have a few toys. This is the Combiner Wars leader class, the most accurate to the G1. Then he appeared in Forged to Fight. And then after that, I don't even know. Here are some honorable mentions that I chose here. First off, we have Ironhide. He was the Autobot weapon specialist in the movies, but in the cartoon, he was sort of like a bot who would tell stories. Like an old bot. Then there's Fortress Maximus. He was a Headmaster Titan who would transform into Cerebros. His head would transform into Cerebros, then the body would transform into a fortress or a battle station. And then there's Metroplex. Metroplex would also transform into a city. In the cartoon, he also made up a section of Autobot City. But in Fall of Cybertron, he was sort of a legendary Titan Autobot who was awakened by Optimus and the Matrix. Speaking of Optimus, he also made it in the honorable mentions. He was sort of like a knight warrior who would give anything to protect Earth in the movies, even ripping Decepticons in half. But in the cartoon, he would never kill. He thought killing was wrong. He thought there would be another way to start peace on Earth between the Autobots and Decepticons. Then there's Kup. He sort of took the place of Ironhide in the movies of the old Warbot telling stories. So that's all for honorable mentions. And for number 1, we have Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime. Hot Rod was always one of my favorite Autobots. Not just because of his personality, but his look. His look made me really like him. Mainly the movie look. But the G1 was really good. In the movie, he was a French-speaking Autobot who could turn into a Lamborghini Aventador. In the G1, he turned into some sort of muscle car. In Season 3, he became the Autobot leader on. Because in the movie, he took out Galvatron, opened the Matrix, and destroyed Unicron all on his own. Well, the other Autobots were with it, but they didn't really help him. That was mainly his deed. So then he became Rodimus Prime, and Ultra Magnus offered to help him out with his leadership skills. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Goatman936 signing off. Oops. Wrong thing, guys. Sorry. Stop button.